The manufacturing PMI number. The manufacturing PMI number is getting all the attention. I think it's got the least impact, though. We've seen weak manufacturing PMI numbers out of China for, what do you want to call it, 10 months or 2 years. The fact that the Chinese economy is transitioning from manufacturing to services isn't really a surprise to anyone. So I guess I'd put that at the bottom of the list. Shanghai is and remains a volatile market. I think that's the overriding mood in Hong Kong right now.
And John Foley from Reuters Breaking Views. Was it really significant, John, that the fact that those restrictions on how you can sell and buy shares that were brought in, as Michael just mentioned, that they are just about to come to an end? How do you evaluate the importance of that?
I think those restrictions ending is certainly a factor, but it's part of a cocktail of things that have pushed people into selling. Also, the introduction of these circuit breakers, which mean that when the market falls 7%, the whole thing gets shut down for the rest of the day. So that means that if you think that you're going to want to sell, you want to do it as quickly as possible, early in the day, before you miss your chance. But really what this is all about is that last year, when the market really sharply corrected, the authorities stepped in and they brought in all these new measures to try and stop the market from doing its job. And you can really only bottle those kind of forces up for so long. So what we're seeing now has really been in the post for quite some time. And again, overnight, the authorities in China have stepped in again. They've pumped loads of cash into the system, the most they've pumped in a single dose since September. And they're also saying now that they may suspend big sales of shares for even longer to protect share prices. So we're just getting more of the same. It's the view that China's authorities have that markets are great as long as the signals they're sending are helpful. And as soon as they're not, you have to step in and do something about it.
If we just bring in Jane Foley, Jane from Rabobank, we saw this market volatility yesterday. Is this just a stock market volatility problem, or is it a reflection of the ongoing concerns about the Chinese economy?
I think it's clearly the latter. I mean, clearly at the beginning of the year there's liquidity issues, etc. So that is a factor. But underneath all of this, there are still quite deep-rooted concerns about the pace of growth in China and how well they are transitioning over to the consumer-led growth. We know that in China there are significant issues. For instance, the build-up of debt in recent years was very rapid. There are concerns about how that could potentially trip over and cause growth to slow. We know also that there's too much infrastructure, that there needs to be some sort of adjustment towards that. And again, we've seen that play out last year very much in commodity prices. As building has slowed, so too have the elements of construction. So there's a huge amount of concerns about China, the growth pace in China, how the authorities are going to deal with that, and how that is going to spill over to the other economies that trade with China, which, let's face it, is just about everybody.
Yeah, Michael Parker from Bernstein in Hong Kong, what do you make of that? I mean, is there something profound going on with Chinese growth, do you think?
Oh, I think there's something profound going on with Chinese growth. I just don't think that anything really changed over the Christmas or the New Year's break. I think that the slowdown that's going on in